My first impression of Tim was that he was this big guy. I mean, big because I'm sort of a shrimp, but big because he's a big personality. And he was so happy and energetic and effervescent. And I just wanted to know who he was, and I wanted to know more about him.
The first time I met Timothy, he was wonderfully enthusiastic about what we were showing. And what I really enjoyed about it, I could see all of this classicism, but he just got so excited at the craziest and the boldest pieces in our collection. He just wanted to use everything which everyone else is afraid of.
Magic. Timothy is magic. He has a life force that it oozes out in everything that he is and does. And the first time I met him, I just looked at him and said, I want to know this man.
He was shockingly casual. I mean, I basically knew him through images of his work. I knew who he was. It's this august figure. I imagine him as like a curator at the Frick Museum. You know, somebody who'd wear a navy blazer with brass buttons and a foulard.
I was just struck by how present he was, you know, totally engaged. He looks in your eyes. He cares about what you're saying. He's interested. He's warm. He's just a very special guy.
I mean, his work precedes him. It's hard to grow up in this industry and not know who Timothy Corrigan is. But meeting Timothy in person was really the surprising part, I think, because you imagine somebody that might have, a similar fancy quality to his work, but at the end of the day, he's just as warm and friendly as a neighbor you might grow up with.
Timothy doesn't know this, but when Timothy came to talk about doing a collection for us, that was the first time I met him. And I probably had no intention of working with him. But he is such a sweetheart, lovable guy, and seemed like just the perfect person to work with.
Really quickly I realized he's extremely accessible and warm and very kind.
I was so impressed that somebody would just take this leap of faith and leave a huge job and start doing something that he was really passionate about.
The fact that he was daring enough to leave a highly successful career and do something he loved is, to me, indicative of everything about Timothy. The passion is his MO, and that's what he did, and it's made him so happy, and it's made the world such a much more beautiful place.
Timothy Corrigan's interiors, I think, are timeless. He has an incredible gift to capture the moment, to create a sense of timelessness, that you've been there before, that you've always been there, and it's always right.
He walks this incredible line between classicism and theatricality, and this boldness and playfulness, but whenever you walk into the room, it's also very comfortable and completely livable.
Total grandeur with total reality.
Classic meets relevant in a very effortless way.
You need to step back and really understand the big picture of living and experiencing life through interiors, but also of that very moment when you're stroking the side of a sofa or you're leaning back on a pillow. And Timothy's thinking of both the tight angle and then the wide angle at the same time.
It's like being in Versailles, but just living in the interior, not just seeing it.
They look as if they've been there forever.
The three words I would use to describe Timothy are visionary, lovable, and down to earth.
Charming,
Generous,
Knowledgeable,
Inviting,
Genuine,
Humor, he's so funny.
Joy.
gracious,
kind,
smart,
incredibly enthusiastic.
The word wonder comes to mind.
Character.
and extraordinary.
and again, I think just simply magical.
So I think Tim's design legacy is that he really knows how to make a house a home, and he creates beautiful interiors that feel as good to be in as they are to look at.
You know, people think fancy is difficult or fancy is off-putting. In Timothy's world, fancy is beautiful, and it's also something that works for you every day. And I think that legacy of taking, traditional concepts, traditional forms, and making them work for today, I think that's his legacy. He's really brought the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries into the 21st and made them viable.
You don't have to have airs about you to produce some of the most wondrous homes in the world. That people should understand kind of the magnitude of his work and how much he's thinking about, how much he's touching, how capable he is of doing big and great things, and then his ability to be very much in the moment at the time when he's in front of you. And if all designers could take even one iota of that to heart, the world would be a happier and more beautiful place.
The passion and the graciousness he brings throughout the industry has left as much of a mark as his work itself.
He's a giver, he shares, and I consider Timothy to be one of my treasured mentors.
That's it? Okay. Good. Nothing else?
No. Is there anything else you want to say?
He's so full of life. There's something, he's just always brimming with excitement. And sometimes even when there's been sad news about someone or something that has happened to a friend, he always finds the right words to say, the best way of looking at something. He's so incredibly grounded and a very good and loyal friend.